The time has come for you to come home, to be reunited with me. Stand up. You are a king. You're a good man with a good heart. And it's hard for a good man to be king.
Evacuate the city. Engage all defenses. Give this man a shield. Ibombe! 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 Wakanda forever! In my culture, death is not the end.
All right. Wow. Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Bozeman.
Right. Yes, he was an icon. Black Panther. Wakanda forever.
King T'Challa.
King T'Challa. Yes.
Hey man, but check this out. That was talking about. I said somebody asking a question if it was gonna be Black Panther Part 2. You know what I'm saying? Say man, you know what'd be cool is if that Part 2 is the dude that was the nemesis in the original Black Panther, all of a sudden became the head dude. That would be something worth watching. And it'll keep the stream of seeing black superheroes out there in the open. Yeah. I'm just saying, you steal my idea, you're going to owe me a percentage. I'm just saying.
Oh, no.
I'm just saying. Hey, welcome to the Holistic Cannabis
Welcome
Show.
Back, yes.
Your boy, Han Henderson.
And Dr. Yolanda Henderson.
Right here,
all right,
fucking fresh in the flesh.
Yes.
Today we talking about cannabis, credit, current events. We talking about all that, but check this out.
Yeah.
You gotta first find us, all right, so that you can participate in that discussion with us, all right? You can call us here in the studios at 470-251-4647, all right? If you got your phone, your tablet, your iPad, your Kindle, your laptop, your desktop, whatever you got going on over there. If you're an Instagrammer, we're at manifesttv.status. You on Facebook, you can find us at Status Network LLC. On Periscope, we at status_network_. At Twitter, you at status_network_. And if you got a Roku, type in Status Network. Manifest TV.
That's right.
Or YouTube.
That's right.
We there too. All right. So, we was talking about the Black Panther dude.
Yes, we are. All right. So, Mr. Chadrick, right?
C Breezy.
There you go. He died age 43. He just got married. He featured in so many films, and we have those films we're going to show you in just a minute. But he was a icon. I mean, he literally was the Black King. I mean, he was if there was a Black King, he would have been the Black people's king. And it was really kind of like a shocking story to have to, hear that this happened. I mean, we were like vacationing and all of a sudden we hear on the news Chadwick had passed away, and he battled, and didn't nobody know that he even battled colon cancer, right? A stage 3 colon cancer. And for what, 4 years? For about 4 years. So during his filming and his previews of everything that was going on, he was battling that, and that shows a lot of courage. That shows you that while you're going through stuff, you never know what a person's going through. You never know how a person's interactions are and how their health is going. And that's why we stress the importance of taking care of your health here on the show, because it's important, because if you gain the world, you gain all the riches, all the fame, you still have to be able to take care of your body. And there's so much going on. I mean, there's so many diseases out here. I mean, that's the second iconic person within a month of each other. Mr. John Lewis, rest in peace, just passed away from cancer. I mean, cancer. I mean, this is something that we're talking about here on the show with cannabis and cancer, how cannabis have been shown and proven to get rid of or kill cancer cells. And I teach this every other week, how cancer cells are perform apoptosis from the use of cannabis. And it's sad, it's so sad that so many people are not aware of how cannabis and the natural healing and alternatives. I mean, I have so many people who have been witness to testimonials to how alternative treatments for cancer has played a part in their role. And rest in peace again, Chadrick. We honor you. We thank you for all of your legacy that you left behind, and so many people's lives you touched, even children. And I have some children who actually admired, and one of my own admired Marvel and superheroes, and that was his favorite character. I mean, Black Panther. I hadn't never even seen the Black Panther superhero character itself. And so that's another reason why we're talking about Chad today. I mean, number one, he was an iconic man. He's a Marvel character. He played Black Panther. I mean, all the kids loved him. Kids today admire him. They looked up to him. And he was at the same time battling a condition, a cancer, a disease that we talk about all the time, week after week, in our classes with the Atlanta, Georgia Academy of Cannabis Science. And it's just so sad that his life was ended the way that it did. Even though he reached and touched a lot of people, he just got married. Miss Taylor was his new wife, and we honor her for being by his side. And he doesn't talk much about his family. He was a really closed off person, a private person, so he didn't speak a lot about his family life, but he looked like he had gone through the changes in life. He grown to appreciate who he was. He'd gone to prominent college, and he did a tribute to Denzel Washington. I mean, and sometimes we have to give our famous, our heroes, their flowers while they're still alive. And so if you have any questions, or if you want to say something about Mr. Chadrick, please call into the show. Please, this is your opportunity to give your flowers and your tribute to the great late Chadrick. And I'd like to just honor a lot of people, and a lot of people that I look up to in my life, such as my mom, who's still with me today. There's Oprah. Hey, Oprah, I want to be like you one day. Those type of comments, you never know who that's going to reach. And when you pass on, what type of legacy are you trying to leave with the world around you? I mean, we talk about cannabis on the show every week, but one day it's going to be, that couple had a show about cannabis. How many Black people do you know right now that's actually talking about the cannabis space, who's actually trying to reform? There's a lot of us reforming, and we're out and we're protesting, but we want to leave a legacy of being that couple, or being those people that you will always remember, who is actually trying to talk about cannabis, the health benefits, alternatives, a holistic lifestyle, getting into your inner spirit, your spiritual guide, God. I mean, this is the Holistic Cannabis Show, and so we always laugh and we joke about different things, but do we really know what our purpose is when we die, and how many people are really looking up to you as their hero? And so just, you know, I tell my children all the time, find a hero, find a superhero, a person that you can look up to, and you know, and they'll never know, you know, how that person was suffering if they don't never come out and tell you. But when they do, to already, you know, give them their props, you know, while they're alive, and don't wait so much until they're passed away, because they really probably can't hear it, and you want to do that now while they're alive. What do you think?
Yeah, you're exactly right. Exactly right. It's always good to tell people how you feel while you got the chance.
While you have the chance, right?
Yeah.
Miss Rosa, I want to be like you one day.
Hey, I got some people that I want to shout out on my Facebook.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? I want to say shout out to Shawan Tipton for watching the show. We got Burn Slater watching the show. Paul Lewis watching the show, Jasper Clifton watching the show, Antoine DJ 3 Olives watching the show. We got Preston Henderson watching the show. All right. And
Shouts
again,
out.
if you want to call in about anything that we talking about today, that number is 470-251-4647. Come on, let's hear about it.
Let's hear about it. All right, so we have a couple of different topics on today's show. We have, you know, how cannabis is helping actually the senior citizens. You know,
with the older people.
It's helping them have a better quality of life, and I mean, they are living and they are thriving on cannabis use, and we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the shooting of Jacob Blake, y'all. Another police shooting. I mean, right here in America, this is supposed to be the land of the free, the land of the living. I mean, the American dream. What happened to the American dream when you gotta be scared to send your children out, or you have to tell them how to deal with the police? And we had some conversation with my mom this morning about encountering the police. If you're going to get into an encounter, say for instance somebody called the police and they just so happen to come out, what do you do when you encounter the police? Do we have to go through, have classes on how we're supposed to handle the police? Because at the same time, this young man was shot for walking away from armed policemen who was actually telling him to stop. This man was telling him to, I guess, stop. I mean, you're walking away. They said at first there was a fight, and then after the fight, he walked away and he was going to his car. Well, what we were talking about was, how does the police not know if you're going to pull out a gun in the front seat? You know, I might lose some people here, but at the same time, I don't think that he should have been shot. I don't think that you should be in a position. I don't care how many police. There's tasers, there's, you know, all this stuff. And the scary part about it is, you done shot a man who's not dead now. All these other men were the t-shirt symbolisms of spirits that we are honoring, you know, rest in peace. But this man is still alive. I mean, and at the same time, how are you gonna sleep at night knowing that you just shot somebody and they didn't die?
That didn't matter.
That didn't matter?
Don't matter.
He said it don't matter.
Okay,
what you think? Give us a shout.
Okay.
Call us. Let us know what you think about this. This is the cop.
Each
and
encounter.
That's there you go,
That's
Mr. Blake.
That's the guy.
Right.
All right. First of all, you got to understand that everybody is already going through their own thing, regardless of what profession they in.
Right.
All right. Regardless of if they have a profession at all. People are people first. All right. People and their life issues come second. All right. Now, if you're a police officer, you know, your job description is to protect and serve.
It is.
Even though the most of the police cars that you see They have removed
the protect and serve. That's
All right?
sad. That's sad, y'all.
Then you saw the rapid militarization of domestic law enforcement.
Right.
All right, and nobody said nothing. All right. The police started being able to carry the same firepower that people was getting on the street. People was getting on the street, robbing trains and stuff like that, was getting military grade equipment. So the police felt like that they had to compete with that.
Right.
All right. So then, okay, well now we shooting at you with this little 9mm, but you shooting back at me with an AK. So now we gotta justify that, right? Law enforcement go back and justify it. They get the money. Now they have tanks. Now they have bulletproof shields. Now they have all this other kind of stuff, right? Now, in the meantime, they telling the public, oh yeah, turn in your guns. Give up your guns. Problem number 3. Problem number 3.
Right.
Then problem number 4 is the political climate in which these things happen, right? It's almost seeming like, and I know quite a few people that's in law enforcement. I got family members that's in law enforcement, so you know what I'm saying? But at the same time,
So do I.
at the same time, now some police done crossed me up the wrong way too.
Oh, me too.
All right?
Yeah.
So to say that, oh man, those cops, they were just in fear for their life, blah, 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 blah. It's more than one way to skin a cat, my grandma used to tell me. There's more than one way to apprehend a person, what my granddaddy used to tell me. You don't have to, you know what I'm saying, always assume that when you get there, you know what I'm saying, the situation is going to be so out of hand that deadly force is going to be needed. You can't tell me that that's part of the job description, because at the end of the day, you say, oh, at the end of the day, I want to go back home to my family, to my wife and kids. Well, so does the person that you pulled over. But you never know that the person that you pulled over might be having mental issues.
Yeah.
But if you the type of officer that don't care or about that, or not even that you don't care, but you were never trained to realize and recognize those things. See, you dealing with the public.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You're not a bank teller. You're not a store clerk. You're dealing with the public, and the public that you deal with, some of them have mental issues.
Ooh.
Some of the public that you deal with, you know, hey man, got so much going on.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
PTSD. Some of the civilians that you're accosting law enforcement are people who was in the military. So guess what? If you want to use the excuse that the law enforcement are ex-military and they suffer from PTSD, then you surely can't neglect the general public.
Yeah.
If somebody's son or child or lived in a bad neighborhood or seen somebody get killed or seen their friend get killed, that does not put PTSD to them.
Right.
So now, you know, recognizing the mental illness or the mental conditions of the people that you swore to protect and serve, because you still take that oath. Even though you took it off the car, you still take the oath.
Yep.
And in that oath, it don't say that, hey man, if you don't do what I tell you to do, I'm going to beat you up or I'm going to shoot you. Now, that's not what's in the oath. Right? That's not what's in the oath to take.
But when you were in law enforcement, and a lot of those guys like we were talking about earlier, they were in the military, they have that PTSD where they're trained to kill, they're trained to shoot, they're trained, and a lot of them are not debriefed when they come home.
Right.
So they have it in their minds that
they trained to come back.
They trained to come back. I gotta come home. It's either me or you. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of them,
not fair for the civilians.
they need the CBDs. They need the anxiety that comes from having the hemp and the CBD. I mean, it's not even saying that they have to have THC. And
some of them need that THC.
And some of them, you know, some of them are alcoholics in their closed doors. Some of them are, and I'm talking about the cops at this point, because there's, like you said, there's law enforcement on both sides, and I was a military veteran myself, and I do know from firsthand experience that when you come home, you don't come home the same. You have the attitudes, you have the nightmares, you have the argumentative, you have the defensiveness, you have all of these, you know, ailments that come along with having that lifestyle or being trained to be a military weapon. And so when you don't have a debriefing all the way and you change uniforms uniforms, you change over from the military uniform over to the blue uniform, or vice versa, whatever you're doing, your focus is not on, you know, that love and that compassion as much it is about you defending yourself and your life, and that training that comes with, you know, being that militant. So
yeah, and see, that's the thing with being in a institutional setting. The military is an institutional setting.
It is.
The prison is an institutional setting.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
The schools.
when you get out the schools, those are institutional
institution for
settings.
social control. If you're taking law, you know.
Right. So
Institution for social control.
when that military person comes out of the service, okay, they've been in Desert Storm, Iraqi Freedom. Yeah, man, look, I ain't taking away from your commitment, right, of what you signed up to do now, because you signed up for that.
Yep.
I didn't sign up for that. You know what I'm saying? But you did. But I appreciate you anyway. But I figure that my contribution, you know what I'm saying, to existence and to life is different. It didn't require me to have to sign up to go to the military.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? But you know, when you get out of the military, you have to, like you said, you have to debrief, right? But when you have so many military personnel being discharged at the same time, you overwhelm the system.
Yeah.
So now it's not enough therapists. It's not enough. It's not enough just to sit around in a focus group with you, and you got 20 other people sitting around you in a circle, and they all got issues, mental health issues, and it's just one therapist. To that 20. He got to try to see all those people, plus the new people, plus, you know what I'm saying? Man, that's a whole lot going on.
Think about the teachers.
Roll one up.
Yeah. Think about teachers too, because that's how it is in the African American communities. We have all of these different children. Some don't have dads. Some come from a motherless home. Some parents have two mamas. Some kids have two dads. I mean, you have all of these different lifestyles that you have to focus and put. And so our deal in our conversation today or this morning was the man in the mirror, looking at yourself, individually responsibility. There you have it, because it's got to start somewhere, and change has to overshadow the communities, the world, the state, the country that we live in. It's gonna have to start at the person who's causing the drama, causing the hurt. Hurt people. So if you're hurting someone, go back and find out. I have meditation videos. I mean, I had to go and we had to just step back for a few days and go and take a vacation to get that inner sense of what it is that I need. Everybody has a need that their body will tell them, and mentally a need can be, I need time out. Hey, I can't deal with life right now, so let me go and take a time out before I hurt someone in my own hurts. And some of these law officers, or some of the people that you know, in our communities that's hurting behind, you know, having an absent father, or not listening, because again, it can go back to, you have both parents. I mean, look at, you know, Mr. Blake. He had his mom and his dad. His dad was a pastor. You know, some of these families, Trayvon Martin, he had mom and dad. I mean, some of these people that we're talking about that's been shot, or in the African American communities, they have what they need. Is just some way around, you know, the people who did it to them. We don't know Mr. Zimmerman's story, what his background was. Did he have, or was he afraid of black people, or what?
He was born in a trash dumpster behind Golden Corral. You know what I'm saying? His backstory, you know what I'm saying?
Everybody
he swam
have
up
a
under
story.
rocks, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was addicted to crack when he turned 3.
Right. So, I mean,
dude, man, I hate that dude, man. I really don't like that dude. Hate is such a strong word. But it's not even his fault personally. Yeah. See, what it is a lack of accountability. You know what I'm saying? And all jokes aside, you know, law enforcement, because of their job, because of their duty, because of their volunteer to deal with the public, just like preachers and politicians, they have to be held to a higher standard of accountability because they influence the outcome of people's whole lives. You see what I'm saying? So they need to be held accountable. You know, do I think that we should defund the police, take the money away from the police department? Man, some of them don't need tanks and all that there. But instead of buying more weapons, you know, for that, maybe you should try investing in some counseling for these guys and girls in uniform. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, hey man, maybe you should allow them a little bit more of a vacation time. You know, maybe you should be more involved in the community as far as, okay, these are the officers. How about this? Instead of having an officer that live way across town doing the policing with no attachment to the neighborhood, how about you have the police officers that live in the neighborhood?
Go police the neighborhood.
The police station should go out there to the neighborhood and do recruiting inter-office or inter-community. They should, you know what I'm saying, tell the people in the neighborhood. But see, the police got a bad reputation.
That could be a conflict of interest, and then if they have a because if I guess when the police want to get out of the hood, they don't want to stay in the hood the rest of their life.
If you make your hood,
if you make your money,
if you make your hood a better hood, you ain't gonna have no problem staying in your neighborhood. See, people say, "Oh man, I'm tired of living in the hood. I'm tired of living in poverty. Tired of living in projects." That's because their situation around them stays the same.
Well, it's a mindset too. So.
But if that and part of adding to that mindset is changing the environment, not changing the location of the environment. That ain't gonna help. You know what I was saying? You could take a boy out the country,
but you can't take the country out the boy.
You see what I'm saying?
It's actually, you can take a female out the hood, but you can't take the hood out.
I mean, I done heard all different kinds of ways, but I was trying to be rated.
You was trying
G,
to be
you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? But you know, that's the whole thing about it. You know, I would rather, if I'm out there doing wrong or somebody I know out there doing wrong, I would rather, you know what I'm saying, be told by somebody who live in my neighborhood, hey man, you know, this ain't our neighborhood, bro. We're trying to clean up our neighborhood, keep your crack off the streets. Maybe maybe the young guys will listen to an OG. You see what I'm saying? That's out of the hood. And that's typically, you know what I'm saying, who is raising the neighborhood at that point. You see what I'm saying? If the main complaint is, oh man, ain't no dads in the house, blah blah blah, ain't no authority figures, why couldn't the neighborhood watch themselves?
All right, so we have another video, quick tribute to Mr. Chadwick. We're going to take this quick commercial or this movie break so you all can see a little bit more about Mr. Chadrick Bozeman from 1976. He was 43 years old all the way to August of 2020. Rest in peace. A tribute to you, Mr. Chadwick.
In my culture, death is not the end. It's more of a stepping off point. You reach out with both hands and bust and segment. They lead you into the green belt.
I thought I would be an artist maybe, but it would be a visual artist as opposed to in front of people or on stage or on screen or anything. You know, I was more quiet. You know, I was more the type to like sit and draw. You know, I never thought I would be out front, but I never thought that I would do it. But like I had sort of a infatuation with it because he was doing it and the fear of it. And it probably was, you know, one of those things that you just want to conquer, you know, and then you realize like, oh, there's something there. Even though I was, you know, thinking of theater, thinking of film, I was thinking about, you know, being behind the camera or being, you know, in the audience blocking scenes as opposed to being on stage. You know, I think I had done a play in New York, and from that play I booked my first agent, and at that point I still hadn't like set it in my mind that I was just focusing on this. I was still probably thinking of myself as a director who had an acting job. I knew that there would be a lot of pressure, like the type of pressure that, like, who's this guy? Like, you know, just the idea of playing the lead in a movie that big. You know, I played the lead in an independent film, but I never played the lead in a movie that big. It's very rare for me even to go watch playback, because I want to, when you're doing something like this, you want to be lost in it. You don't want to, if I have to go watch playback, then I'm stepping outside of it to you know, I'm saying I'm not him. You know, I'm not actually him right now. I'm just trying to see if I look like him. You dream, you know what I'm saying, but you can't. I think this is sort of beyond like what you really think could happen. Like, you know, doubts. But yeah, this is beyond any reality check that I ever gave myself. You can't plan it. You can say I worked hard, but you can't say you deserve it. You can say you wished for it, you prayed for it, but you can't say you made it happen. You know what I mean? That's what you say you want. You know. I think the same thing is true of Jackie Robinson. The same thing is true of Black Panther. Those are the roles that you wouldn't necessarily say specifically, I want to do that or I see that coming, but in your head, in best case scenario, you know, you see yourself doing those types of things. I mean, it's great. I don't necessarily read the reviews. I more so have appreciated my peers talking about it, fellow actors talking about it, and you know, my dad, who told me he was proud as soon as the movie was over. And he never does that. Those are the things that I appreciated the most. I still haven't given it up. No, I think directing is in my future. You know, I've recently sold a pitch to Universal, so I'm writing something. You know, so it's not like I've given that up. It's just that, you know, I'm kind of on a ride right now, and I shouldn't get off of it.
And you're still pretty much at the beginning of your journey. That's the cool part.
Well,
no, I mean there's a pretty wide expanse in front of you. You've got a lot of years to be doing this, so it's a pretty good start.
It's a good start. It's a good start.
Tribute to Mr. Chadrick Bozeman.
I bet you didn't even know he played in All My Children.
I didn't.
He was a soap
oh my
star.
Gosh.
All right. You know
He played
Grandma
in so
used to be making me
much.
watch that.
Yeah?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Gracious.
But a lot of people just got familiar with who he was
for
because
Black
he was
Panther.
in the movies with the Black Panther most prominently. He did some movies with Spike Lee. All right, but a lot of people don't remember those movies from Spike Lee either.
Right.
All right.
All right.
So, yeah.
All right. So what you got, Mr. Henderson? Credit repair.
All right. I had somebody send me a message and ask me how to remove some items from their credit report, right? They wanted to know how to remove late payments.
All right.
All right. And inquiries.
And inquiries.
Right. So, what we do at NTH Credit regarding matters of late payments, of course, we'll just keep the topic on that right now. So, the goodwill adjustment letter. All right. We use a goodwill adjustment letter whenever we see a late payment on a credit report, if the account is open in a current status and if it's not something that's frequently occurring on your credit report. So we'll talk about 3 ways to remove late payments from the report.
3 ways.
One way would be to request a goodwill adjustment. You can request this adjustment by writing a goodwill or a forgiveness letter.
Okay.
1 month, I was late on my credit card bill because, I had to pay another bill.
Right.
I still paid it, but I just paid it late. It was past my due date.
Okay.
All right. Then you can say, I was late because I just didn't have the money to pay it and I was late. All right. It's a one-time thing, maybe twice. You was late. Okay, your creditor or your credit card company or whoever it is that you're late with say, okay, cool. We'll take those off. That's the purpose of a goodwill letter. We write a letter that explains exactly why we were late, how we value the relationship with the person who have given us the credit card or the car loan, and you really enjoy having it, blah, blah, blah. Right? A goodwill letter.
Goodwill letter.
All right. Then the next thing that you can do is you could negotiate to remove that late payment with your creditor. Okay. You can say, okay, well, if I sign up for auto pay, would you remove these late payments? And the reason why is that would cure the reason for delinquency or the RFD. Okay. You say, okay, well, look, in the future, I won't be late no more. I'll set my account up on auto pay to make sure that my payment's on time.
Take
or
this
your creditor
delete.
say, okay, cool. Sometimes the creditor say, yeah, cool, okay then.
Wow.
We'll go in as a good gesture to you since you've been with us for so long. We'll go ahead. You don't really be late. Yeah, we'll go ahead and give you that. Okay. They'll take that late payment off.
All right. Y'all heard it here.
The third way to remove a late payment from a credit report would be to dispute. By disputing the late payment as inaccurate.
Right.
You made a payment.
Right.
And for whatever reason, the system was down.
Right.
When you tried to make that payment. Or you made that payment a couple of days before the due date and still got reported late. All right. You can prove that you made that payment before the due date, dispute that, and they're going to remove that late payment.
All right.
As long as that late, let me throw this in here.
Right.
The better off earlier the late is. So like if you only late 10 days, 15 days, 30 days, right? Well, because that late is only going to show up on a 30-day credit report, right? Because the credit report is based in buckets, 30, 60, 90, 120. All right, so at 30 days late, it's on your credit report, but you ain't late, you don't recall being late, you dispute it. All right, send your proof, send your evidence, and bam, they remove it off like that.
Right.
All right. Those would be the 3 ways to remove a late payment. All right, so now we're talking about inquiries. All right, inquiries, I got to ask that question. How do we go about removing inquiries from a credit report?
All right.
You can remove an inquiry. You'll need to call each company's credit department. If they have one, some of them do and some of them don't. You'll call the creditor. However, if they have one or not, it don't matter. And so you'll call that company and provide one of 4 reasons. All right, my top 4 reasons that I like, would be 1, that inquiry was not approved by me. All right, that's the top number 1 right there, man. I don't recall Goldsmiths checking my credit. I don't recall Mason's checking my credit. I ain't getting nobody no permission for that. Right. I just called in to find out how much something would cost. Next thing I know, I end up with an inquiry.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, I hate those. Oh, yeah.
The second one is that you out, you just decide to pull up on a car lot or something like that. You looking at the car looking good. You know what I'm saying? You sit down and you just juggling numbers around. You talking to the man to find out how much it is and everything. And you felt pressure into this purchase. Because he just would not leave you alone about it. You and Cons, he just would not leave you alone about it. Best Buy, he's just not going to leave you alone about it.
Wow.
He gonna hassle you. All right. You felt pressure into approving the credit pool. Oh man, just let me check your credit out. You know, salespeople, man, they'll get you. Oh man, just give me your information, man. I'll put it in, tell you how much it's gonna cost. But they don't tell you if it's a hard pull or a soft pull.
Right.
See, soft pulls don't cost you.
Okay.
It's the hard pulls that cost your credit score. So you go there, all right, man, go ahead, man. Just run it and tell me what you think.
Right.
Now, you done gave a man approval.
Right.
But it was under the pretenses that all you was basically doing was getting a quote.
Right.
You call Geico, hey, man, I just want to get a quote. Some of them say, oh, yeah, well, we ain't going to get no quote. Well, guess what? They humans, and they make errors, too. So now you got a hard pull. All right. The number of inquiries was more than you expected. Typically, this is going to happen when you go buy cars. Because that car lot, even though it said Billy Bob Chevrolet, they have a network of lenders that they use. Right? They might have 13, 14 different lenders. Subprime, high prime, right? All these different lenders, right? So so you go in there, you say, hey, man, I like this car. You know what I'm saying? Man, you need a car. So you go fill out the application for the car. You see what I'm saying? You thinking that Billy Bob just, hey, this the person that's gonna fool with you. So I'm gonna pull your credit one time and we're gonna see where you stand.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, 30 days later, you see 10, 12 inquiries. At a car lot, all those are hard pulls, my friend. You're gonna lose points, my friend. All right. You gonna write a letter, or you gonna tell the creditor, hey man, this more than what I thought it was gonna be, man. Y'all gotta come on. This is just abuse right here, man. Y'all done pulled my credit 16 times, Billy Bob Chevrolet.
Right.
Billy Bob Chevrolet needs to handle the business.
There you go.
All right. Number 4. Your report got pulled without your knowledge or authorization. AT&T, T-Mobile.
Wow.
All right. You looking for stuff online, you shopping online, you see what I'm saying? Or you trying to find out how much it's going to cost to add an extra line to your plan. See, all that kind of stuff go on in the back.
Right.
Or you could even have an account that's active, right? That you know that you got this account. But every now and then, so they can update your information and have the most accurate information. Credit cards are real notorious about this here. You got a credit card, you want to, you know what I'm saying, find out how to get your credit limit raised or discussion about an increase. They already have your social security number. They already got your birthday. They already got your name. So they just, oh yeah, well hold on, let me go find out. They ain't tell you that they was pulling your credit. But they did. And it was a hard increase. All right? That costed you points. Now, you can pick up the telephone and call each of the creditors. And if those creditors still don't do what they need to do, you'll send a letter to the credit bureaus of dispute. Those type of disputes, I would probably say you can do those online. But calling, you shouldn't really have no problems, because if you calling the creditors, you know, they'll work with you to get those inquiries out. Especially if that application got denied. Now, inquiries can stay on your credit report for 2 years. All right? After 2 years, they got to come off anyway. All right? And there you go. That's my 2 credit tips for today. Late payments and inquiries.
And late payments and inquiries.
Now,
all right.
We got a workshop coming up. We got a workshop coming up for credit repair, where we're going to be talking about credit repair in detail, Zoom. All right? So we're gonna put the link on the Holistic Cannabis Show Facebook page. We're gonna put that on there. We're gonna send you some invites on there. So make sure that y'all found us on Facebook.
That's right.
Y'all found us on Instagram. We're gonna have more information out there. We're gonna post it on the website. All right, because we still gotta stay into COVID compliance mode. Guess what? I'm gonna even do the seminar on Zoom.
There you go. There you go.
We're gonna tell you basic credit disputing 101. We're going to talk about that thing. We got about 6 or 7 lessons in there for you.
Right. So don't miss that. As well as don't miss, that's in 2 weeks,
it's
right?
2 weeks from today.
2 weeks from today. All right. So that's going to be on a Sunday, or is it going to be on a Monday?
It could be on a Sunday. We can talk credit any day of the week. I ain't got no problem with it.
All right.
But, you know.
And where can they go to your website in order to sign up for a credit repair consultant or a credit repair specialist is what you're called.
Well, I do free consultations, all right? So it don't cost you nothing.
Okay.
You are entitled to access your credit report, so it'll actually be a soft pull. So that soft pull, when we do the consultation, you can request your own credit report.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
It's a soft pull. It won't cost you no points. We sit down, we do the consultation. Consultation pretty much takes about 45 minutes. We're going to look at every aspect of the credit report. We'll go over the things that we can do for you and the things that we can't do for you now, because credit repair just don't guarantee that we're going to take everything off. If you go to a credit repair person and he says that he can guarantee to remove stuff off, save your money.
All right.
Save your trouble. All right?
It's going to come back. It'll come back and bite you.
It'll come back later and burn you.
All right. So, thanks for that. We do have the Atlanta Academy of Cannabis Science class starts tomorrow. If you're interested in enrolling for tomorrow's class, please contact us at 404-631-6360. Again, 404-631-6360. Or you can email us at the Atlanta Academy of Cannabis Science at gmail.com. Find us on Facebook and Twitter, as well as Mr. Henderson and NTH Credit. He does do your credits as part of a seminar for the class, our business portion in Module 5. Tune into that. So if you want to go ahead and get into the class, you will be able to get that 2-for-1 deal.
For sure,
And
for sure.
So that's the benefit of joining our class,
You
Mr.
enrolled.
Henderson.
You enrolled to the class, to the cannabis class. I give you a free consultation.
There you go.
All right. I'm gonna even work with you at a discounted price for your credit repair.
There you go.
And everything.
There you go. There you heard it. All right, and so our strain of the week, Mr. Henderson is going to tell us about the strain of the week. But first, we have a short video about that strain that you all can watch right here. All right, and we'll get that going for you in just a few minutes. We want to shout out actually all of our August birthdays. So shouts out to you, anyone who have had a birthday in August. If you want to call in and shout out your friend or loved one or family member and say happy birthday. We also are doing our health tip of the week, and being that this is a holistic show, mental health is very, very important right now. A lot of people is going through PTSD of the problems, the police shootings. I mean, they're blowing up everything in America. Everything is on fire. There's a protest on every end. Mental health. We need to take care of our mental health. And by us being on a pandemic, it is kind of a strain for us to go out and actually get some vitamin D, get the sun, the actual sun. I mean, I had to go and get on the beach in order to feel that whatever is going on with me from being on quarantine was actually going to be resolved, and I had to get to myself. And you have to just sometimes meditate, and that brought me to a poem that I read before called Footprints in the Sand. And the Footprints in the Sand is a very popular poem. I don't know if everybody have heard of it or not, but it was where the man had a dream that he was walking along on the beach at night, and during his dream he saw that he was being carried. He saw an extra set of footprints in the sand. So the footprints represented God, and so therefore it was actually being that he needed to know that he was being carried through his trials and tribulation. And that's just a short synapse of what the poem is about. I challenge you all to go and read that poem, The Footprints in the Sand, and find out how you can apply that to your everyday life and get a mental health awareness breakthrough, and try to find out what you need in order to get your mental health back together. And that's if you need a vacation, hey, take that vacation. We did, and so I'm still here to talk about it, talk to you guys, and so I'm just glad that we did do that. So here's that quick video on the strain of the week.
Mental health, you need to smoke this. The White Widow. Now, with White Widow, it's going to make you feel happy, make you feel euphoric, uplifted, relaxed, and creative. All right, it's a real good strain for people who are, like you said, under stress.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people in the public is stressed out, and you know they're not all together mentally. I challenge you to, if you can, find you some good cannabis you can take, some good CBDs. You know, this particular strain, it is a THC dominant hybrid, but there is also a CBD strain for the White Widow.
Right.
And a lot of people sleep on the CBDs because it doesn't give you the euphoric feeling or the high like THC does.
Right.
For some people, it calms them all the way down. They're more relaxed. They're more, you know, I support the THC.
Right.
But CBDs can also offer some relief for people who are stressed out and under pressure and everything. So I just want to put that out there.
Right.
The strain is White Widow.
Right.
And
There
it's
you
a
go.
really good strain.
Right. All right. So marijuana is safer than. All right. So marijuana is safer than a lot of these medications that are out here that are scheduled as Schedule 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Benzodiazepines. We got your muscle relaxers. We got all of these other hydrocodone, all of this other stuff that really makes you unable to drive. They make you alcohol. All of this other kind of disease drugs that they're giving out, okay, for pain and for other things, that marijuana is actually safer than. So if you didn't get a chance to call in, we do want you to share the show. If you like and enjoy our show, please share the show with your friends and family and loved ones. We are able to see that you share now. So if you share, we do have that offering to give out prizes. And I have this nice little wand here. And this wand here is something I found at Lowe's, and it's supposed to be ultraviolet light. And what it does is goes through and it disinfects things that are around you. So I was at the hotel all weekend doing this, you know, or at our Airbnb, whatever. And so I really enjoy this thing because it actually supposed to help kill off the coronavirus. It is supposed to be a safe and effective non-chemical, and it's supposed to help you, but you can't put this on your skin. So I just wanted to mention that.
Can I say what I picked up?
What did you pick up?
These great cannabis socks.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Y'all see
that?
those socks?
So stylish.
Yes.
And profilish.
I thought you was going to say something else like these nuts.
I didn't pick up these nuts on this weekend. You know what I'm saying? I did not pick up these nuts. You picked up these nuts.
No. In other news.
Hey!
We got a wand, and we enjoyed our little vacation. So
Really
mental health is one of those things, and CBDs are always good. I also picked up some more nice items as well. CBD gummies. Did y'all know that Florida just allowed edibles on their medical marijuana program? So they just added those edibles to their program. So I'm excited about Florida. Come on, Georgia. You know, right here in the state of Georgia.
Yeah, come on, man, 'cause South Carolina is running off.
South Carolina, Florida, Arizona has it on the ballot. So we're trying to get this voted in. They vote next month, which is a couple more days.
The citizens of Texas is actually suing the state of Texas.
Oh yeah,
behind their CBD ban and their hemp ban.
Hemp, the smokable hemp is being banned.
Like lawsuits around here too much.
Exactly. Okay. So the CBD is actually being banned. The smokable hemp hemp, I'm sorry, is banned in Texas. So they're suing the whole state against that, because hemp, of course, is non-THC, it's non-psychoactive, you guys. So it's not going to make you hallucinate. It's not going to make you, want to go jump off. It's going to help you feel better. It's going to help you with anxiety. It helps to regulate your diabetes, your blood sugar levels. I mean, CBD has so many health benefits. Google it, and research has been done in other countries, whereas in the United States it's a Schedule 1 drug, and the research is far in between as far as other states is going off and leaving us in the knowledge and the education on cannabis. That's why we are able to do it, because our research and our information is coming from overseas and other countries that has actually taken the time to study this and not putting it on the schedule, so that you can't do the research. And so, however, we want to thank everybody for watching the show today. Today has been one heck of a day. We're going to let you all go, but next week we'll be here at the same time, same place, giving you more news and information. And shouts out to all of my viewers today, all of our viewers who watch the show, who tune in every week. We want to say thank you, and we appreciate you. Status Network is also an awesome network. If you want a show, if you want to are thinking about doing a show, please contact Status Network or give us a shout out, and let them know that we sent you. All right, till next week, peace and blessings. All right, we're out.